The other one that makes me feel old is the number of like old, bald, or white-haired dads that were like 45 in sitcoms back in the day. It's ridiculous.
Why does that make you feel weird?
Because they're younger than me.
Which implies
that I'm old.
Okay. Uh-huh. I just wanted you to say it.
Wow, you totally just baited me into saying that. I feel like I've been the champion for working from home. I feel like I have been that guy who stuck his neck out to get 2 or 3 days a week for the team to be able to spend at home. But there's something weird, even if it's the same ratio. If it's when you talk about okay, you get 2 or 3 days at home, versus now the language is okay, it's 2 or 3 days in office.
Yeah.
Which that like so the exception is going to slide one way.
Those are kind of this half. It's 5 days a week.
I know, so. but there's a difference.
Ratio.
It is the same ratio, but when
there's a difference. Which one are you?
It's a glass half empty versus half full.
Which one are you naming?
Sure.
The one that you name determines which one you prefer.
Right, and the one where
it's a hassle.
Yeah, 2 to 3 days work from home is like I will try to get you 2 to 3 days at home per week. 2 to 3 days in office is like I'll try to make it in 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, but I think that's just a reset of the expectation before COVID was 100% in the office, and the expectation in 2020 was 100% remote because everybody's going to get sick from being near each other. I think it's just you've got a different anchoring point. I don't feel like it's a big.
But I think the anchoring point sways the variance in the direction of.
This is another one of those shards right here.
Yeah.
This is a shard for the two of you.
Yeah.
Where you're saying it's not a big deal and you saying it is a big deal.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, you're saying it's semantics. I'm saying
it's not semantics.
Right.
So
in any case, right? What I'm saying, well, it's obviously me.
He pays me to say it.
So the position that I want to clarify is I'm not talking about like, therefore, we need to go back to 1995 and remember 1995?
Vaguely.
I don't think James was born yet.
Okay. You should look it up. There were a lot of cool things happened in 1995.
97 was the first year I really remember.
Everybody's coming into the office because that's the only place your computer is.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I'm talking about. That is silliness. I'm just battling against the opposite end of the spectrum, and I'm trying to figure out why I get uptight when, and maybe I just need to stop reading, but I read these articles that talk about the divide, the work from home versus work in the office divide. And they're always written with such cynical, snide, biased opinions about managers who want to bring their people back in. And then I read a little deeper and I'm like, oh, you're talking about a manager of a company that employs thousands of people. Yeah. Well, of course. Okay. Well, we're talking about something different here. Somewhere in the middle, there's gold.
I have a guess, and we could play the James makes a series of statements that you agree with or disagree with.
Oh, this sounds like fun, yeah.
You are the owner of Sketch.
True. I agree with that statement.
You founded Sketch.
I agree with that statement.
You care about the mission for Sketch.
I agree with that statement.
You care about it more than anyone else ever will.
I don't want to agree with that statement.
Don't want to, or don't?
I don't want to. So that's where like I often forget. Nobody's going to care about this as much as I do.
However,
nobody goes to sleep thinking about it and then wakes up thinking about it like I do.
But if you're the one in charge of the measuring stick, if that's the stick you want to measure people against, that is very different than how many lines of code can you produce. But I'm sensitive to that too, because, and keep in mind, I want to keep this solution focused. So if that's the solution, like create a new measuring stick that measures adherence to the vision or like commitment to the vision. That feels like that's what cults do, and I don't want a cult. I think you can, before you all start wearing the same clothes, I think you can head in that direction, though.
Look at what you're
I
wearing.
know what I wore today.
Okay.
Yeah. It's solidarity. Because I also care about the vision, but probably not as much as you do. Okay. No matter how hard I try, I probably never will. Because I don't have the same stake or time in it that you do. I think that is something that you could actively incentivize for, though, and it could affect hiring decisions and how you talk with employees about what matters and what doesn't matter. There is solutioning to be done there, I think, but in lack of that culture fit expectation, we're seeing a lot of people leave perfectly good companies because they have no idea what the company mission is, and company B will pay me more than my current company. And it's the same job, and I'm so far removed from the actual mission. I'm so far removed from the end users that are affected by the widgets.
So it's a commodity. It's a race to the bottom, except in this case, the top, because the only difference is the pay.
Yeah, if my work-life balance is the same, if my culture is the same, where I'm talking to black boxes on Teams or Zoom all day, why wouldn't I be the most radical individual that I possibly could and just set the world up for success by my standards, whatever that is.
So your solution, this is what I'm prepared to stand behind, is for leaders in an organization to rework the proportion of time they spend communicating the mission, articulating the mission, inspiring people behind the mission.
And hiring and firing people who do or do not align with that mission. Yeah. If that's what you care about.
I feel like what you're not saying, but saying, is indoctrinating them into the cult. I mean...
Yeah, I am.
Because
the alternative is you work at a factory, whether it's a knowledge work factory or a commodities factory, in which case you don't care. You don't care how many widgets you turn out.
Right.
You could do that, and then, that's staff aug, right? It's how many butts and seats can we get? And maybe you care about the client's vision mission, but probably not, because you are just there for the paycheck.
Yeah, and this gets to sort of the heart of the once you reach a certain size conundrum. Because once you reach a certain size, the bigger you get, the higher the likelihood that you've hired a manager who is on the I'm just here to collect a paycheck end of the spectrum.
Because I want to.
Thanks for tuning in to Raise the Bar. We have a conference coming up that you should know about. It's DevOps Midwest, and we're proud to host it. We have a great lineup of speakers this year. We're going to talk about the latest in DevOps innovations. We're talking modern development practices, security, DevSecOps, cloud development, AI's impact on DevOps. This is an opportunity to network and learn from your peers. We've got practitioners and leaders alike in this thing. It's April 11th. We've got 2 tracks we're running simultaneously. Space is limited at our new location, so make sure you register today. And don't miss it. We've got a panel discussion with IT thought leaders around the middle of the day. Early bird ends March 11th, so if you want to snag a discount to attend, go ahead and do that. I hope to see you there.